Today we will learn the constructor method. Okay, so constructor. So what is a constructor? Or there are certain points here. If you remember these points, you will never forget the constructor. First point is that the constructor is a method. Okay, it is a method. Okay, the second point is very important point here. This method name should be same as the class name. Okay, same as the class name, as the class name. And the third point is that it has no return. It has no return. It has no return, not even void. And it is used to initialize the instance variable. Okay, the instance variable. And it is called when objects is being created. So these are the 5 points. If you remember this, you will never forget the constructor here. The first point that it is it is a method, okay, or it is a function. But what kind of function? The function, the name, the name should be as the class name. So whatever the class name, say if the class name is summation, that means that means the method name must be summation. So if the method name is summation here too, then that method is called the constructor. Okay, and it has no return, not even void. So it has no return here. So we will see that how we will create the constructor here and the types of the constructors. And it is used to initialize the instance variables, and it is called when object is being created. So here no void is here, no return value is here. Now it is used to initialize the instance variable. You know, whenever we create any objects from a class, then the variable, the variables or the instance variable, it should be initialized. Should be it must have the initial values. Okay, and it is called when that object is being created. So that means at the time of the objects, like say if the class name is this, then how will I'll create this? So here like summation class here, and say here say ob. Now this is the objects here, and here you see this is the objects, and this is the keyword which will create these objects. And then the summation here method, that is the constructor, is being called here. So whatever contain inside the inside this class, the whatever the variable there, so it will all variable should initialize okay, with these methods. So here if you don't create any class if you don't create any method here, that is constructor method, so it will the compiler will automatically create here. You see that this is the way that we create the objects here. And now I am going here to our programs, the previous day programs. Here you see this the objects. Here this is the method here, and this is another method. But here you now when I create the objects of this class here, and I am creating the object of this class here. You see this is the method here. So I haven't created the method here. You see this, I haven't created here the this sum here, the sum that is constructor here. But when we compile this, or when this object is, that is this object is created, and then automatically this particular method will run. Now here you see, this is the method here. Okay, it's automatically created by the compiler. Now I am going to create the constructor here separately. So let's create the first the day 6 package here. So I'll just right click here and go to new, and then package here. So I'll write here Java day 6. Now the new package is created here. Okay, now I am creating one class here. So I'll create the class here. Just let's the example, I'll give the summation, that same the class here which we did in the first class. So now here the public static void, when you have to choose it. Now it is created the one summation class here. So now I'll define here the variable. So I'll define the variables int, say A, B and C here. Then I'll define another variable like say double say say D here. So let's see, and now I'll create one constructor here. Okay, I'll create one constructor here. I'll just put the name here capital here. Okay, this is a convention. Okay, so I'll put here, so I'll just write here public, and then I should write here the constructor, that is the constructor name. Now here I'll just give the method here, method. Now you see this is the character. Now I'll not give anything here. Okay, I don't put anything here. So let's see what is the value of A, B, C and D here. So now I am printing. So I'll create the the object of this class here. So let's I'll create the object of this class here. Just you delete this line, and I'll create the class here, and is then ob and dot, sorry not dot, new, and then sum. So here I have created this ob. Now I want to print this A value, B and C value. See what will it return here. So see, there is nothing in it here. There are A, B, C. I have just defined. This is the instance variables. I just mention it here. This is the comment line. Okay. So this is the instance variable. So this is the instance variable, and these variables are instance variables, and just I have created this the constructor here. So let's here give this constructor here. So this is the constructor. Okay, and I haven't give anything here. I just put it and now I want to print this the value of the ABC here. So here let's A equal to plus A and then B equal to plus B, and then I'll print that, not C, I'll print the D here. Okay, I'll print the D here. d equal to plus d. Now see what will it print here. Sorry, here I have to put this AV. Actually I need the object here, so here I haven't correct the or give any reference here. This is the reference here, this is the object here, so I have to take this ob dot a, then it will say the error will go on here. Now here ob dot b here, and then ob dot, and then ob dot d here. Now run it here. So see what will be the output here. So see the output here first, then we will further elaborate it. Now you see this, the output of A equal to 0, B equal to 0, and D equal to 0.0. So this 0.0 indicate that it is a double variables, and A is, so you see this I haven't defined A equal to 0 here. See, there not defined here A equal to 0, but that's when we create the the constructor, so it will initialize the value. If say if I don't, just I'll delete this, okay, I'll just delete this, then I'll run it again. So there is no constructor here, you see this, there is no constructor here, and but here the automatically it will create. Let's see again the whether this answer is given or not. The same answer is given here. So if you give, if you put it here constructor, then it will okay. If you don't, then it will automatically it will create. This is called the default constructor, okay, and this is called the default constructor. So when we define whatever the value will define here, it the initialize the value. So this is what we have seen here. So it is used to initialize the instance variables. Now it is clear here. Here it is say it is the it is a method here. So the first point here, it is a method. Now let's do it here. This is a method here, and this method is same name as the class name over here. See that the same name as the class name, and it has no return value here. So there is no void or anything else. Like say it is a void here. In previous day class we have seen this the summation here. So this is the void here. You see this is the void here. So here the void is the return type, but this return type it will return nothing here. And here it is a int here, that means it will return the integer variable here, okay, integer value here. But in case of the constructor, we will not mention any return keyword here, okay. This is the default parameter, the default constructor here. Now say if I want to mention here, a equal to 5 and say b equal to say 20, let's see what will it print here right now. Now we will run it here. So you see this is the sorry, it is why it is said enter. Actually I have run this summation, okay, just let close it here. So I'll just now here I have defined in the constructor a equal to 5 and b equal to 20. Now let's just run it here. Now you see that a equal to 5, b equal to 20, but d is still 0.0 because I haven't defined here the value of d here. So here I have defined, say here I haven't defined any value here, inside the constructor it will define the values. Now if I'll add this value here, say if I'll add this value here sum, there will be a one method here. Say if I write here the public here, if I write the public method, now here I'll write it here sum. So here the sum is here. So I'll write here a c equal to a plus b. Now c equal to a plus b, I'll just define another method here. You know, you see this is the method, this is the different name of the class name, okay, this is, and this has a void. So that means if you find that in any method void or anything in that, so that is not the constructor. And if you find that the method that is similar to the class name, then you understood that that method is nothing but the constructor. Now I have defined it here again. Now I will define it here C here. So let's see what is the value of C here. So now here I have defined it here C. So let's run this. Now here you see this C equal to 0 here. Why it is C0? Can anybody tell me why it is C0 here? Hello? Can anybody?
Sum के लिए वो object कॉल करना पड़ेगा.
Yeah, I haven't called the sum method here. Now if I call the sum ob.sum here, ob.sum here, then now you run it. Now you see this, the C equal to 25 because this A equal to 5 and B equal to 20. Is that clear?
Yes,
so here this is the without parameter, this is without parameter, any no parameter is here. Now I will give this the parameter here. So let's I'll just delete this because I don't need here. I'll just give you some things there, that whether the default value will printed or not there. Now I'll just ABC here, and I'll put the value from here. So I'll pass the value from the constructor. Okay, I'll pass the value from the constructor. So let's define here int x equal to say 90 here, and then int y equal to say I'll put it here say 80 here. So these two value, now this is, so when you pass the value through the constructor, to have to create the value before calling the before creating the objects. Okay, before creating the object. So I have created the objects over here. This is the object here. Okay, and with the help of this class we have created the object. So before that objects we need to create the variables, and then this variable is passed here as a parameter here. Now here x equal x comma y and x comma y here. Now it is red here. Why it is red? Because here the no receiving end here. So I'll put it here say int a here and int b here. So the similar name here. So how should I define that? That means I have defined here a equal to a here, okay, and b equal to b here. But remember this a equal to a and b equal to, what will happen here? Let's run it here. Here you see this c equal to 0, okay, because it is defined in the local variables here. Now if I this a equal to a, that means this particular a will not assign to this a, that is the instance variable. So when you put it here the keyword this, then that indicate the current the class object here. Now here this again here this dot c b here. Now run it again here. Now you see this 170. So if the similar variable will be there as instance variables and in a local variable to the method there, so you should have placed this keyword, otherwise it will not be taken the value to the other method there, and the visibility remain inside this method here. Now here you see this I have passed these the x and y through this constructor here. So this is the constructor method, and this this particular variable that we define the previous day class. So this is the actual parameter here. You can say this is the actual parameter. So these are the actual parameters sometime asked in your interview. what is actual parameter. So actual parameter is that when we call or when we pass the value through the method, so that method, that particular parameter is called actual parameter, and this parameter is we will call it the formal parameter. Okay, formal parameters. Now here this is the parameterized previous constructor. We have defined the without parameters. Now I have passed these variables as a parameter here, x and y here. So now why do we need that particular constructor here? So I have told you that the constructor actually will initialize the instance variables. So and you can say that it is a special member function whose name is the same as the name of its class, and it is declared and defines. So the purpose actually basically the constructor is to initialize the object of the class, and the constructor is called to because it is used to construct the object of the class. The constructor is used to construct the object at runtime. Okay, so that when runtime, that means the constructor will call at runtime. That means when we call this method, when we call this method here, so this constructor will call here. Okay, when we create the objects. So I have given the 5 points there to define there what is the constructor, and this is the 5 points here. This is the 5 points. So you should remember these 5 points. Okay, if you remember, you will never forget the constructor. Now I will take another example here. Okay, so we can define the two constructor in a same programs. Okay, we can define two constructor in a same programs. Let's like say one parameterized constructor and one without parameter. Okay, one parameterized constructor and another without parameterized constructor. Let's define the some meaningful things here. Okay, so I'll define one more class over here. So let's I'll do this the file that is the class name is as a demo constructor. Okay, demo constructor. So this is my class name, and so I'll put it here public here. Okay, now I'll put it here like say string. I'll give this a string variable, so st here. Okay, so this is the instance variables of a string, and now I'll create the constructor here. So first constructor I will create this without any parameter here. So this is the class name, so I'll just copy it and then write public here. Okay, public now here the public constructor here. What is the problem here? So here I haven't give anything here, so this is the default constructor here. Okay, and these default constructors I will say I'll print something here. So let's sys out and sys out. Why it is not taken? Okay, so here I'll just print here I am here default constructor. I am a default constructor. Okay, now I'll define one more constructor here, and one other constructor here. I'll just define here public, and here I'll define here int st here. So there will be one parameter that is passed here, and 1 minute, and then sys out. Sys out. Now I'll print this st. Okay. So here say I have not create any method over here. Okay, I'll just create the objects of the first constructor. Okay, just create the, so this is the class name. Now I'll create ob1 here, ob1 equal to new, and then I'll just create the call the construction. Now I am not calling any method here. Say there is no method, so I am not call this method purposely here. So here I am not able to, I am not called here. Now let's see what will be the answer here. So this constructor is run. So when we create any objects, when we create say another objects, if I'll create the another objects, let's copy it. More than one object we can create the with this like object is what? Object is nothing but the it's here it's see here I'll define here say 2. So now I run it again here. So it will print 2 times because it will first time ob1 it is created and ob2 is created. So whatever the inside the constructor here, it will be printed, or it will do that. So here now I'll create another another objects here. So but here now I'll put it here 3 here, this constructor is 3, and I'll just put it here hello world. Okay, hello world, I'll just put it here as a constructor here. What is the problem? Oh sorry, here I have to define this string here. Okay, and let's mention this this dot st equal to st. Okay, this dot st equal to st. Now I will print this st. So let's run it here. So here you see that when we run this the particular ob objects here, so these objects will this particular constructor will fire. Okay, and so what I have sent this value here hello world, so it will receive this hello world, and then it will assign to st here. Okay, it will assign to st, and this dot st equal to st and system dot out dot println. So this is how this this will call this particular constructor here. Okay, so now you see this I'm not created any function here or any methods here. Now I'll write here another method here. Say I write here void. Okay, void say print me. I'll just give this here say sys out here. I am print me method. I think there is a spelling mistake here. Print print, print me. Now if I don't call it here, you can write here public too. Let's write it public. Now here public void print me. So if I need to call this here, so I don't need to call these two method here, because these two method is a constructor. Now if I want to run this, I have to call it, otherwise it will not print here. So how will I call it here? So I call it, it's here, say I can call it with any objects here, say ob1 here. So I can call it with the ob1, then the print me method here, then I'll call it ob2 here dot print here. So it will call it, no problem whatsoever. Now I'll call it ob3 here dot print here. Okay, so it will just call it. Okay, you can call with any objects, because this all objects is defined inside the main methods. Now run it here. So you see this is the here the first constructor will run here. Okay, then the second time I'll create the objects of the same constructor, then that will run here, and then another constructor, that is this constructor. So I have passed the value here hello world, and this hello world will print inside this demo constructor here, and then this method I need to call it here. You see there's what is the difference between a normal method and a constructor method? Constructor method you need not call, it will call when the object is being created, but as the normal functions or normal method here, you see this, we need to call this here, we need to call this here I am print me, that is I am print me method. So here we need to call it. So I think now it will be clearly understood by everybody that the particular constructor is the constructor and the constructor method, what is constructor methods, and what is the difference between constructor and the normal methods. So any question guys regarding the constructor, any questions?